on the 22nd of September 2017. Thousands of you were on the street. Old moms, dads, with olive branches. That was your weapon. It was the same in 1993. Thousands of us, we were out after AAC1. When we catalog our grievances, there were socio-economic and political grievances. We catalog them like beggars. Owners of Ambazonia catalog their grievances to be sent to their masters in Yaoundé. They took those pieces of papers and tore them and called on Manawa Bay to marshal forces and subdue us. They said they made a mistake to have allowed us to meet in Boya. So 1994 in Bamenda, there were water cannons everywhere as we were darting from one hotel hideout just to hold a meeting, just to sit together and talk. We never had a chance in our own country. We were not asking for the president of a foreign country to be replaced. We were not asking for an inch of their land. We were not asking for a pay rise. We were asking for simple conditions within which we can live in dignity and hope. The violence that was deployed on our streets, water cannons, people were battered, eyes gouged out, people taken to hospital. That is how the occupying power measured its own power, by the level of violence it meted, and no one could speak, not at home, not abroad. They normalized it. It was good for them. As long as we could not rise up with the same equal amount of violence, it worked well for socio-economic, political, and geostrategic interests. 1997, more than 500 of our people were kidnapped from Ambazonia, deported to Yaoundé. Remember Ntanen Daniel? He was tortured in Kondengi. A stick was forced through his urinary tract. He bled. He cried for treatment. It was denied him. He died on the floor of his cell. Julius Ngundi, he was tortured on the back of a truck, denied water for 48 hours. He begged just for water. The master had their boats on his neck. They dropped him in Kondengi, detained him incommunicado for 2 years. Denied medical treatment. He died on the floor of his cell. Fire Lawrence, Pa Tete Philip, Pa Zachariah Khan was tortured until his toes got rotten and started falling off. No accountability, no justice, nobody to speak for them, nobody to hold the bully accountable. They had coerced our people to the extent where they started blaming the victims. Our people started blaming themselves. That if you had just allowed them to take over the land, extort, murder, they wouldn't have subjected you to torture. That is the level at which they brought Ambazonians to have some semblance of negative peace in their own country. They blamed those who stood for them, who fought for them, who defended them. They saw them as the ones inviting the fury and rage of the enemy. Because for 62 years they had controlled our mind, controlled our way of life, control our being, our existence, our possibilities and hopes was in their hands. And so we didn't have the power to bite the finger we thought was feeding us. We begged to be them. We changed our names to be them. We sang their anthems. And every other thing that challenged and disrupted the status quo was problematic. We never thought sacrifice was part and parcel of human existence and necessary for us to achieve the things that make us normal human beings with dignity. Peaceful protesters in Buea, they were attacked with helicopters, bodies littered behind Buea in the bushes, hundreds of them. Some got rotten, nobody cared. Children of other mothers, children of other dads. It was not ours, it was theirs, until it came to us. Our mothers started digging graves because all the men had been massacred in hundreds of massacres, documented, spoken about, no accountability. Villages razed to the ground, old mothers burnt in their homes. No time for healing, no time for goodbye. They even orchestrated genocide with the sole purpose of physically eliminating us from the land of our birth so they can take it and tap the bounties of our soil. We normalized it. Those who fought valiantly to defend us, to give us hope, were somehow seen as the disruptor of the normalcy which has been part and parcel of our lives. They went into hospitals, wounded soldiers. After having driven Medicine Sans Frontier, those who could take care of the wounded on both sides, they threw them out. The international community was mute. Then our wounded soldiers in times of war who sought treatment, they didn't care about the Geneva Conventions. They marshaled themselves in hospitals, pulled out soldiers, shot them point blank in the hospital premises, harassed doctors, took some into jails. We showed that on. It was our portion.